My name is Matt Burzacott. I am from West Des Moines, Iowa. Started bodybuilding. I just turned 28 last Sunday, but I started bodybuilding when I was 18 years old. Graduated high school. Wanted to play college football. Didn't get any scholarship offers. So once that ended, I kind of missed competing in some kind of sport because I've been in sports my whole life. And I started reading bodybuilding magazines when I was 12 or 13. And I remember when I was 14 or 15, somewhere around there, that's when these two teenage brothers came along, the Feldman brothers. And I saw them in Flex magazine. And they both won the Teenage Nationals, and I thought that I could do that too by the time I was 18 or 19. So football got over, and I always trained like a bodybuilder, even in high school. And it was just kind of a natural thing for me to progress into. And I did my first show when I was 18, did the Teenage Nationals a couple times. And then from there, when I was 21, I had the injury, pec tear. That set me back a lot. And then I just kind of dabbled around in a couple national shows that I wasn't ready for. Got my ass kicked. Learned the hard way that I wasn't ready for that level. And took a step back, did junior nationals a few times. 2010, I got 5th. 2011, I tried to go up into the super heavyweight class, got 7th. Last year, 2012, got 2nd. And then here we are at the USA's this year, where I just got 2nd in the heavyweight class. This past off season, I went to about 270 pounds, which I think the most I've ever weighed was like 273. I was there for a little bit, and before I started my diet for this show, I was about 268, 270, and I weighed in at 224. But I was 230 on stage. So I'll definitely next year I'll move up to the super heavyweight class. Off season, I'll have to admit, no guys, I don't lie about stuff, or I try not to. But in the off season, I'm not gonna lie, I'm bad in the off season. I don't make it to the gym as much as I should, and that's something I'm really gonna try to change this year. I don't eat very good. And I'm also going to try to change that too. I need to have more of a regimented, structured off season, and that's what I need to do this year to make the gains. So when I come back to the USA's next year, I can win. But training-wise, I'm a pretty instinctive trainer. I don't have like Mondays chest day, Tuesdays back. I kind of do whatever I feel like. If I need to bring up, like I wanted to bring up my legs for this show, I just kind of I'll start the week with legs, and then I'll do chest or whatever, and then I'll do legs again whenever they're ready, whether it's usually it's about at the least 3 days later, at the most like 6 days later. So whenever I feel like I can do legs again, I'll do legs again, and whatever I thought I was going to do on that day, I won't do it. I'll skip shoulders and arms a lot because those are two of my better parts. I might train those once every 10 days or 2 weeks sometimes once a week. But if I'm trying to bring up a part, that's how I do it. Just, it makes the most sense to me. You need to train it more frequently and get more growth spurts out of it. So that's how my off-season training and pre-contest training doesn't change really at all. In the off-season, I may do more, intensity multipliers, supersets, drop sets, and stuff like that. Stuff that you actually have energy to do when you're not dieting. But for the most part, it's the same. I do go, like I said, I go to the gym more. Once I start contest prep, then I don't miss the gym then. I'm not lazy then. I go every day or 6 days a week. And in this video, it's the day after the show, so guys, don't make fun of me. I don't train like that. I'm not that big of a pussy. I'm just, showing some exercises the way I do them and some of my favorites. And going back to my injury, I fully ruptured my right pectoral. And people ask me all the time, aren't you going to get that fixed? Well, it is fixed. I had surgery on it. I got it repaired. It's just, unfortunately, I tore the tendon from the muscle belly, and it took a bunch of muscle with it. And after that happened, I figured I was done. There's no way I could ever be a pro or even come close. And then I met Don Long, and he told me that he thought I could still do it, and that meant a lot to me because obviously coming from him. So that's kind of 2010-ish era. That's why I kind of got, I really half-assed everything. I should have not even competed back then when I was half-assing it, but I still at the same time couldn't let it go or not compete. I just had to do it. And then I met Don and pulled my head out of my ass and started putting everything I had into it. But that's also, when that happened, it just changed my philosophy on training. That was back when I was 20, 21, when you go to the gym and you lift as heavy as you can every single time you go, every day on every exercise. I was tore at bench pressing, of course. Was on my last set. Back then I was a pretty good bencher. I would go up to sets with 455. On that day I was doing 455 and trying to get 6 reps. And I did 5 and I tried to get one more and dropped it down real quick, and that's when it tore. And so after that happened, that did change my philosophy on training. I rely more on pre-exhausting body parts with cable movements and machines, and then I'll go into heavier compound movements when I'm really nice and warm. And I take shorter rest periods. That's one thing that people don't, I think people take too long in between sets a lot of times. If you use shorter rest periods, you don't have to use as much weight, and your body doesn't know that it's not less weight. It's the intensity of the workout. But at the same time, you can't use 10 or 15 pound dumbbells and expect to grow. It has to be, a good heavy weight for you, but shorter rest periods. My plans are to go ahead and take the rest of this year off. I thought about competing the North Americans here I think they're in 6 weeks or so. But I really want to win the USA. To me, that's the most prestigious of the 3. And it's kind of funny because up to the show, everyone was talking about first and second gets pro cards. So when I got second, I thought I got my pro card, and I was I was happy, but at the same time I wasn't, because I feel like you should at least win your class to get your pro card. And so I thought I had it, and then I learned that I didn't, and it was just kind of a crazy mix of emotions. I was happy, not happy, happy, not happy with it. But now I'm happy because I want to come back here next year. I want to train this whole year, make some progress, and come in, at least 10 pounds bigger with, the same condition. And I feel like I would be very, very hard to beat next year. So I'll be back here in Vegas for the USA's next year. And just wanted to thank my coach and friend, Tony Friedrich, who's helped me the last couple years, actually helped me get in shape. That used to be my biggest problem, is I never was in shape. So we kind of solved that issue. Thank my girlfriend Jen, who has, she's the first person really that I've had, and I've been doing this almost 10 years, that has been supportive, every day, and positive every day, even when I'm pissed off and not very happy. So she made it an easier prep and helps with whatever. So thank you to her, and my mom and dad, and because they've always been there for me, no matter, they're not big fans of bodybuilding, but they still, they understand that that's what I want to do with my life, and they support that, and they're happy for me. If I've ever needed anything, a place to stay or whatever I needed, they're always there. So thank them, and probably my roommate and my best friend Tavish, who he trained with me the last probably the last month and a half before this show. Made sure that I did all my workouts hard, and he was a big help too. So I'll be back here next year, and hopefully I'll win. I don't like to make predictions or talk myself up ever, but I'm confident that I'm going to come back and get the job done next year.